Hello again. Good morning/afternoon/evening, everyone. Today I want to talk about a truth that's both simple and complex. You are the author of your own life story. To be the best, the smartest, and your own master isn't about perfection or comparison. It's about courage, vulnerability, and showing up as your true self every single day. Being the best doesn't mean you have to outrun everyone else or wear a crown of achievements. It means being the best version of you with all your flaws, fears, and dreams intact. It's about waking up each day and choosing to grow, to learn, to heal. It's about showing up when it's hard and trusting that your worth isn't tied to what you produce or how you perform. To be the smartest is not just about IQ or knowledge. It's about emotional intelligence, curiosity, and self-awareness. It means recognizing when you don't know something and having the humility to ask for help or seek new perspectives. It means learning from failures and making peace with your mistakes because they are the raw materials of growth. And being your own master. That's the deepest kind of power. It's the ability to lead yourself with kindness, to set boundaries that protect your peace, and to live according to your values instead of others' expectations. It's saying no when something doesn't serve your well-being and yes to the things that make your heart sing. Being the best doesn't mean you have to be flawless or fit into some idealized version of success that society has handed down to us. Too often, we confuse being the best with being perfect, never making mistakes, always having it all together, and constantly meeting expectations that aren't even our own. But that kind of thinking is not only exhausting, it's also deeply untrue to who we really are. To be the best is to fully embrace your authentic self with all your strengths and your vulnerabilities. It means showing up as the real you, even when that feels uncomfortable or uncertain. It's about accepting your imperfections, not as flaws to hide, but as the unique parts of you that make you human and relatable. When you stop chasing perfection, you stop hiding behind a mask and begin living more honestly and courageously. Being authentic means acknowledging your fears and doubts, but not letting them define you. It means recognizing your limits while still pushing yourself to grow. It's understanding that your worth isn't tied to how polished or put together you appear, but to your capacity for self-compassion and resilience. When you embrace your true self, you create space for deeper connections, creativity, and fulfillment because you're no longer trying to fit a mold, you're creating your own. So being the best isn't about having all the answers or being better than someone else. It's about honoring your own story, your own pace, and your own values. It's the courage to stand in your own skin, imperfections and all, and say, this is who I am, and I'm enough. When we think about being smart, many of us immediately picture high IQ scores, academic achievements, or technical skills. But true smartness, real intelligence that guides us through life's challenges, goes far beyond facts and figures. It's about how we understand ourselves, how we relate to others, and how we keep learning in a world that's constantly changing. First, emotional intelligence is a cornerstone of true smartness. It's the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions while also tuning into the feelings of those around you. Emotional intelligence helps you navigate difficult conversations, resolve conflicts, and build meaningful relationships. It teaches you empathy, not just as a nice to have, but as a vital skill for connection and leadership. When you're emotionally intelligent, you don't just react to your feelings, you respond with awareness and intention. This self-awareness allows you to grow and adapt rather than getting stuck in patterns of blame or denial. Next, curiosity fuels smartness in a profound way. It's the drive to ask questions, to explore new ideas, and to admit when you don't know something. Curiosity keeps your mind open and flexible, preventing stagnation and complacency. It encourages you to seek out different perspectives, challenge your assumptions, and embrace complexity rather than oversimplifying life's challenges. A curious mind sees mistakes not as failures, but as opportunities for discovery and learning. This mindset turns every experience, good or bad, into a stepping stone toward greater wisdom. Finally, humility is what ties emotional intelligence and curiosity together into genuine smartness. Humility isn't about thinking less of yourself. It's about thinking of yourself less and being open to the fact that you don't have all the answers. It means being willing to admit your limitations, to ask for help, and to learn from others regardless of their status or background. Humility keeps arrogance at bay and creates space for continuous growth. It's the recognition that intelligence is not a fixed trait, but a lifelong journey. Together, emotional intelligence, curiosity, and humility create a powerful foundation for smartness that guides not just how we think, but how we live. This kind of intelligence invites us to engage with the world authentically and bravely, to build connections that matter, and to grow with each experience, especially the challenging ones. So being smart is less about knowing all the answers and more about embracing the ongoing process of learning, feeling, and evolving. Growth is rarely a straight line. It's messy, unpredictable, and often uncomfortable. One of the hardest lessons we learn is that failure and mistakes aren't the enemy. They are essential teachers on the path to becoming our best selves. We live in a culture that tends to celebrate success and hide failure. We're conditioned to believe that mistakes mean we're not good enough, that they're signs of weakness or incompetence. But what if we shifted that mindset? What if we saw failure not as a stopping point, but as a critical step forward? Failures and mistakes hold powerful lessons because they strip away our illusions of control and perfection. When things don't go according to plan, when we stumble or fall short, we're forced to pause, reflect, and dig deeper. This process of reflection is where true growth happens. It's in the honest examination of what went wrong, why it happened, and how we can do better next time that we develop resilience and wisdom. Mistakes show us where our blind spots are, where our assumptions may be flawed, and where we need to build new skills or shift our approach. They push us outside our comfort zones, challenging us to be creative, adaptable, and persistent. Growth requires that discomfort because it's only when we are willing to confront uncertainty and risk vulnerability that we can expand beyond our current limits. Importantly, growth through failure isn't about beating ourselves up or dwelling on what went wrong. It's about cultivating a mindset of curiosity and self-compassion. It's asking, what can I learn from this? Instead of, why did this happen to me? When we approach mistakes with kindness and curiosity, we transform them from shameful experiences into powerful opportunities for learning. Every person who has ever achieved something meaningful has a trail of failures behind them. Those failures were not detours or dead ends. They were stepping stones. They gave clues about what to change, where to focus, and how to persevere. So growth is not the absence of failure. It's the presence of courage to face failure, to learn from it, and to keep moving forward. It's about embracing the full spectrum of our experience, the successes and the setbacks alike, knowing that both are necessary parts of becoming who we're meant to be. In that way, our mistakes and failures don't diminish us, they deepen us. They make our stories richer, our characters stronger, and our lives more authentic. Being your own master is one of the most profound and courageous acts you can undertake. It's about stepping into a place of leadership, not over others, but over yourself. It means becoming the captain of your own ship, navigating your life with intention, clarity, and compassion. But this kind of mastery doesn't come from rigid control or harsh self-discipline. It begins with kindness. Kindness toward yourself, your struggles, your imperfections, and your growth. Leading yourself with kindness means recognizing that you are human, just like everyone else. It means giving yourself grace when you stumble, patience when you're learning, and encouragement when you feel doubtful. Too often, we are our own harshest critics, demanding impossible standards and beating ourselves up for not measuring up. But true mastery requires a different kind of inner dialogue, one rooted in compassion and respect. When you treat yourself with kindness, you build a foundation of trust and safety inside yourself. You create a space where you can be honest about your needs and feelings without fear of judgment. This kind of self-leadership also requires setting healthy boundaries. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out. They are fences that protect your well-being and define your personal space, physically, emotionally, and mentally. They are the clear lines you draw to say, this is what I will accept, and this is what I will not. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect. It's saying my time, energy, and feelings matter. It helps you avoid burnout, resentment, and overwhelm by making sure you don't give away more than you can afford. Healthy boundaries empower you to say no without guilt, to prioritize your needs without shame, and to create relationships that honor your values and limits. They are the tools that keep you centered and balanced, allowing you to focus on your goals without losing yourself in the demands of others. When you set boundaries, you're not only protecting yourself, you're also modeling respect for others by communicating clearly and honestly what works for you. Being your own master means balancing strength with softness. It's about holding yourself accountable while also nurturing yourself. It's having the courage to face your own shadows, doubts, and fears, but doing so with a heart full of kindness. It's about making choices that align with your true self, not based on obligation, guilt, or external pressure, but from a deep sense of what nourishes your soul. Mastery over yourself is not a destination, it's a lifelong practice. Some days you will lead with confidence and ease. Other days you may struggle to protect your boundaries or speak kindly to yourself. And that's okay. What matters is that you keep returning to that place of kindness and intention, that you keep learning how to be your own best leader. When you master yourself in this way, you become a powerful force in your own life. You no longer rely on others to define your worth or guide your path. You trust yourself to make decisions that honor your values and nurture your growth. You step into freedom, the freedom of being fully, authentically you, with all your strengths and vulnerabilities. So being your own master is about leading from a place of compassion, setting clear boundaries and choosing yourself every day. It's a radical act of love that transforms your relationship with yourself and everyone around you. Freedom is something we all long for, a sense of space, choice, and peace in how we live our lives. But true freedom doesn't come from external circumstances like money, status, or approval. It comes from a deeper, more internal place, living according to your own values, not the expectations others try to place on you. For much of our lives, we are conditioned to seek approval and validation from the outside world. From childhood, through school, work, and relationships, we learn what others want us to be, what success should look like, and how we should behave to be accepted. These external expectations often come from family, culture, peers, or society at large. And while some expectations can guide us positively, many become invisible chains that limit our freedom to be ourselves. Living under the weight of others' expectations can feel like walking a tightrope, constantly trying to balance what they want with who you really are. It creates pressure, anxiety, and a sense of disconnection from your true self. When you live to please others, you lose sight of your own dreams, desires, and values. You start to shrink yourself, dim your light, and silence the voice inside that longs to be heard. True freedom arises when you begin to untangle yourself from those expectations and tune into what matters most to you. It's a courageous act to say, this is what I believe in, this is what I stand for, this is how I want to live. Living by your own values means identifying what you care about deeply, whether it's kindness, honesty, creativity, family, justice, or any other guiding principle, and making choices aligned with those values. When you live by your own values, you reclaim your power. You no longer need to seek permission or approval to be yourself. You set your own standards for success and happiness, and you feel grounded in a sense of purpose and integrity. This alignment between your actions and your values creates inner peace and confidence because you're not constantly bending to fit someone else's mold. Of course, this path isn't without challenges. Choosing your own way may mean disappointing others or facing criticism. It might require saying no to relationships or opportunities that don't resonate with your values. But these difficult moments are also the moments where freedom grows strongest. Every time you choose authenticity over conformity, you build a life that feels real, meaningful, and fully yours. Living according to your own values also helps you navigate life's inevitable uncertainties with grace. When you have a clear compass within, you can make decisions, even hard ones, with clarity and confidence. You're less swayed by trends, opinions, or fears because you know what truly matters to you. This inner guidance becomes your source of freedom, no matter the circumstances around you. In the end, freedom is not about escaping responsibility or consequence. It's about owning your life, your choices, your beliefs, your path, and living with courage and honesty. It's about breaking free from the scripts written for you by others and writing your own story, page. So I invite you to reflect. What are your core values? How can you start aligning your daily life with them? What expectations can you gently let go of so you can step more fully into your freedom? Remember, the journey to freedom begins with a simple but profound choice. To live for you, not for the world's idea of who you should be. And when you do, you'll discover a freedom so deep, so empowering that no external circumstance can ever take it away. Courage is often thought of as bold, fearless action, the ability to face danger or adversity without flinching. But true courage is much more nuanced, especially when it comes to living an authentic life. The courage I want to speak about today is the quiet, persistent bravery it takes to face discomfort and vulnerability every day. Living authentically means showing up as your true self, even when it's hard. It means allowing yourself to be seen, not just the polished parts you're proud of, but also the messy, imperfect, uncertain parts you might want to hide. This is where vulnerability comes in. Vulnerability is the willingness to expose your true feelings, to take emotional risks, and to embrace uncertainty without guarantees. It's stepping into the arena knowing you might get hurt, judged, or misunderstood, and choosing to participate anyway. Why is this so hard? Because vulnerability is uncomfortable. It makes us feel exposed and fragile. Our brains are wired to protect us from pain and rejection. So the natural instinct is to close off, to put on armor, or to hide behind masks. But living behind masks means living half a life, disconnected from your own truth and from others. The courageous path invites you to lower that armor, to lean into discomfort, and to allow yourself to be truly known. This kind of courage is not the absence of fear. It's feeling fear and choosing to act in spite of it. It means saying, I don't have all the answers. I might fail. I might be vulnerable. When you practice this courage, something remarkable happens. You open the door to connection, creativity, and growth. Vulnerability is the birthplace of intimacy because it creates space for others to see you fully and for you to see them in return. It fosters empathy and trust because it shows that you're willing to be real, not perfect. Moreover, facing discomfort is where transformation happens. Growth never comes from comfort zones. It comes from pushing boundaries and confronting what scares you, whether it's having difficult conversations, pursuing a dream that